Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity is a weird game for someone like me. On one hand, I absolutely love The Legend of Zelda. It is my favorite gaming franchise of all time, and I love it so much that I got a Triforce tattoo on my body as soon as I became old enough. On the other hand, I don't like musou games at all. I tried to like the original Hyrule Warriors, but it never quite clicked with me for whatever reason. Now, we have Age of Calamity, a sequel to the original that isn't really a sequel, but in fact a prequel to Breath of the Wild, which is one of my favorite Switch games, and it has done the unthinkable. Made me excited for a Warriors style game. Let's talk about it. But before we do, I just want to remind you to follow me over on Twitch and Twitter, where I try to stream 3 times a week on Twitch, not Twitter. Links in the description for both of those. And if you enjoy the content around here, make sure to smash that like button. It helps the channel out a ton. And subscribe and hit that notification bell if you haven't already done so. With that said, let's get into it. So first, I want to talk about what makes this any different than any other musou game. And honestly, the answer is not that much. At least gameplay wise, there are still dozens and dozens of enemies and you hack and slash your way through them. That element of the genre totally stays intact. You go from one objective to the next, clearing the path while doing side activities here and there. And frankly, I knew that if Age of Calamity was ever going to click for me, gameplay wasn't going to be the reason why. That isn't to say that I disliked the combat or anything. In fact, using the runes from Breath of the Wild to take out waves of enemies was kinda cool. The demo has only about an hour of content, but from what I played, there are some interesting gameplay elements already in it, and it makes me excited to see what lies ahead. One thing I will say I appreciated about the gameplay though is how unique each of the 3 playable characters in the demo were. Playing as Impa was different than playing as Link, and Zelda was different than Impa. I had fun swapping from one character to another on the fly while we were luring a guardian to its eventual destruction. The reason why I and a lot of other people are so excited for this when no other game in the genre has ever entertained me for more than an hour or so is because the story is so deeply tied to Breath of the Wild. Seeing characters who were minor at best in BOTW become not only pivotal but playable is so cool. Knowing who Impa is in Breath of the Wild and then seeing her in this is absolutely joyous. I know that we all wish the Zelda game we were getting this year was the sequel to our beloved Switch Zelda adventure, but a prequel leading up to the epic battle that ultimately doesn't go so well is compelling to me. Just when I was getting excited about where the game was going, the demo cut me off. They sure know how to give us just enough to entice us just before they leave us wanting more. I can't wait to see how the champions are presented in Age of Calamity. We didn't get to see them in the demo, but seeing how differently they play from one another is going to be a treat. We heard how epic and devastating the battle that put Link in a very long nap was, and it's exciting to know that we're finally going to live that out for ourselves before hopefully some point next year getting the sequel to Breath of the Wild that I know we are all very excited for. There is a lot more to be said about Age of Calamity, but I figure why not wait until the game is closer to being out before we talk about it and maybe review it. Let me know in the comments if that's something you would like around here. I don't do a lot of reviews, but seriously, Age of Calamity got me excited and it really came from out of nowhere, because if you would have asked me a week ago if this was something I was excited for, I would have honestly said no. Again, I love Zelda, and that alone is what is propelling me to want to play this when I would have previously not really had any reason to do so. The gameplay still isn't my favorite, but the story and the sheer fun factor of it all has definitely got my attention. I love that things that were in Breath of the Wild that are not necessarily fitting to this style of game still make an appearance. You can still cook, you can still have a ton of different weapons, and each one of them has a different power. You can go to a blacksmith. A lot of the stuff that was already there that, again, maybe won't fit in a musou game is implemented really well. At one point, the map opened up and gave me a bunch of objectives and activities, and I just really wanted to get to do them all, but unfortunately, that is where the demo stopped. There's also challenges and a lot else to be seen here. I feel like we just scratched the surface. If you want to see more, like I said, make sure to let me know in the comments. Subscribe if you are not already subscribed, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. Smash the like button if you enjoyed, and I will catch you on the next one. Thank you for all the support. Bye.